In this rebuild video, I will be rebuilding one of Scotland's biggest teams and most historic teams in terms of SPL titles and in Europe as well. I'm talking about a team that hasn't done well really in the last few seasons in the SPL or in Europe, although they did reach a major European final not too long ago. That team is Rangers FC, and if you're a Rangers fan, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel because I'm aiming to bring big success back to Rangers. Here we go. Holdmyheim goes to Rangers, one of the biggest clubs in Scotland, and look at that lovely kit in the boardroom behind us there. The media prediction is for us to finish second in the SPL this season, runners up to Celtic, but we won't be having any of that as we are going to try our best to win everything we can as soon as possible with Rangers. Some of the key players that we've got in this football club are Danilo and James Tavernier at right back. These guys will be absolutely key in our success in the first few seasons. Now, the board, they want us to sign up players for under age of 23. That's absolutely perfect. I love signing wonder kids. Obviously, there's a lot of players to get out of the football club as well. We've got to grow the club's reputation as well. End of the current season, in a 5-year plan, they want us to win everything. The Cinch Premiership, the Scottish Cup, reach the Champions League proper and win the Viaplay Cup as well and continue to dominate through this 5-year period. That is my aim. It is aligned with the boards. Our supporters are very much the same. Forge a higher reputation and Celtic, finish above Aberdeen in the league. So they've got a couple of niche ones there for us to get stuck into. Now, let's get into the squad and see what the Rangers squad is saying about this save. Rangers kick off this save with some unbelievable training facilities and youth facilities, plus some decent financials, which we will get into as well. Our hot prospect is Bailey Rice, and our key players are Connor Goldson and Jack Butland in goal, who looks to revive his career. Estimated value is £116 million. And as we mentioned, the media does predict us to finish second. Rangers is a club with a lot of history, as you will see. We have won so many trophies throughout the years. 55 Cinch Premierships, 1 European Cup Winners' Cup, 34 Scottish Cups, 27 Viva Plays. And as you can see, after that scandal and finance issues in the 2000s, they have won all the leagues coming up as well. 47 Glasgow Cups as well historically is very good. I'm looking to add some European trophies to this and some more Cinch Premierships and Scottish Cups and Viaplay Cups, as we have mentioned. Now, looking at the big boy finances, it's not that great. £10 million in the bank for a team that wants to compete in the Champions League is not going to be good enough. £5 million worth of transfer debt. Let's just call it £5 million in the bank. So assets will probably have to be sold at this point. But looking at the assets that we do currently have, players that are going to be important is Jack Butland. He's an absolutely cracked goalkeeper for this level in his prime as well. Once seen as England's #1, maybe he can work his way back in with this squad. Other players that are going to be very, very important is James Tavernier. He scores a lot of goals from right back, provides a lot of assists, and will be absolutely cracking in our formation that we are going to play. Yilmaz at left back is a very talented Turkish youngster who will be one of those assets that we can develop and sell on and make some big money, but I'd like to keep him at the football club. He's a very, very good player. We have the ultimate utility man at the football club as well. Dujon, play anywhere. Sterling is an absolute beast. I feel like he's going to do bits for us off the bench. Play anywhere, lad. Love that sort of baller at a football club. Moving through the team, we have some players that are looking to revive their career in Rabbi Matondo. The Welsh pace merchant isn't the best, but he has a lot of pace. Off the bench could be a big, big problem. And still only 22 years of age, so plenty of time for us to develop him. We do have the most overrated football manager wonder kid of all time up front in Fabio Silva. He's going to be key for us if he's going to play and score goals. He still is only 20 years of age. Probably should never have moved to Wolves. But his strike partner this season will be Danilo, a new signing for the football club. The 24-year-old Brazilian player is absolutely cracked. Comes in from Feyenoord for 5.25 million and is in his debut season with the club, looking to score hella goals for us this season. The squad looks good. We do have Yanis Hadji as well, son of the legendary Georgie, out on loan. Maybe he can come back and do something for this football club, but he's currently playing at Alaves. And Todd Cantwell is supposedly a better player than him, which is absolute madness. In terms of the tactics, lads, you know already before you see these rebuilds that I'm going to be using the Grumbledore version 1 and the Grumbledore version 2 These are the 2 best tactics in Football Manager right now, which you can download from my channel. These tactics are absolutely cracked. They're the best tactics on the game. You can plug and play them with any side. I've won so many things with them, as you would have seen in this channel. I'll put the link in the description to download these tactics as well. But it's a balanced tactic, and as you can see, we've got a sweeper keeper on defend, wing backs on attack with take more risk, dribble more often, shoot less often, stay wider, and tackle harder. 2 ball playing centre backs with dribble more and tackle harder. My favourite role in the game is Secundo Volante. Take more risks, moves into channels, and tackle harder. Ball winning midfield player on the standard instructions. I love a shadow striker. This has been my favourite role in Football Manager now for the last 3 to 4 years. Stay wider, tackle harder. 1 inside forward on support as well with sit narrower and tackle harder. And 2 advanced forwards up front on tackle harder. These are your goal scoring machines. These are the guys that are going to put us above Celtic in this save. It's a balanced tactic. In possession, standard width, pass into space, overlap right, focus play down the left, short passing, higher tempo, run of the defense with low crossing. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly, roll it out. All the standard stuff you want from a gegenpress formation there. The defensive shape is good. I'm going to have some fast centre backs in this football club at some point because we don't want to get mashed with balls over the top against better teams. It is prevent short goalkeeper distribution and trigger the press much more often. Get stuck in, step up more. We really want to win the ball, play it back, and get out forwards on a rock and roll. Let me know in the comments now what you think we're going to do in this first season and in the seasons beyond. Can we get a Champions League, any sort of UEFA trophy with Rangers would be very, very handy at this point. Let's go Rangers. Come on the boys. Let's simulate this season and see how we got on in our first season in charge. It was an amazingly successful first season in charge of the Gears. We have added our first European trophy on this rebuild, and it was the UEFA Europa League. Now, people will say not qualifying for the Champions League was a big letdown for the club, but we managed to beat Atalanta 1-0 in the Europa League final, and what a run we had to the final as well. Let me show you that before I show you the rest of the tables. We had an unbelievable run. We beat Ajax. We beat PSG 3-1 at home to secure our place in the final. Even John Lundstrom got sent off. It wasn't enough. At home, the Ibrox fans got us absolutely rocking with that one. And then we beat Atalanta 1-0 in a drab final. But a European trophy is a European trophy. In terms of transfers, we only bought the 1 player this season in January, and that was Aydan Toklamati. He is going to be a big player for the future of this football club. We did the domestic treble as well, and as you can see, I've sorted it by goals, as that's what you guys will love to see. Fabio Silva was absolutely cracked. Danilo, what a player. James Tavernier got 22 goals from right back with this tactic and 35 assists, lads. He's got better numbers than some of our strikers. It's unbelievable performance from James Tavernier. Now we go again in the second season. Will there be lots of ins, lots of outs? We'll be in the UEFA Super Cup. We will be in the Champions League as well. Come on, the Gears. Well, this start of the season is going to be very interesting. We have a UEFA Super Cup to play against Manchester City, a European South American Club Cup Challenge to play against Atletico Mineiro, and we're in the Champions League. We're in the Viaplay Cup, the Premier League as per usual, and the Scottish Cup. So a lot of trophies to be won this season if we can do it. I feel like the Super Cup's going to be a stretch. I mean, this one, you never know what sort of team you're going to get from South America. So let's just find out. The transfers this season were absolutely cooking, in my humble opinion. We bought Mohamed Diamande. That was from, he had to come in. That was part of a deal. We did get some great players in on a free transfer. We spent 4.5 million. Leonardo Barrio, Luxembourg international, comes in to be our best holding midfield player. 24 years of age, got 57 caps already. Very experienced player and probably a potential club captain. Alvaro Fernandez, we needed competition at left back for Yilmaz and Tavernier. So he comes in, is one for the future, in my humble opinion. You've got Eddie Salcido now, a striker that I think has got big potential that's not spoken about on Football Manager. He could come in and do absolute bits for us. I don't know, I just got a feeling this guy's going to be cracked. Don't ask me why. Sometimes you get a feeling. We needed a Scottish player, so I signed Scott McKenna from Nottingham Forest on a free transfer. Making the best use of these free transfers is what I've got to do with the money that I've been given at the football club. Chinde Ajuke comes in. He was absolutely on a free transfer, and he was playing for CSK Moscow, been out on loan a couple of times. He looks very good. I mean, he's got a lot of pace about him, a bit of agility. Like, he's got great flair for this league. Man's going to be doing more step overs than anything else this season. He comes into a squad that's looking absolutely cracked. I mean, if we take a look what we've got. We've got Eric Dyer on trial as well. I might have to get Eric Dyer in as well. But at the start of the season, he hasn't yet made his appearance for the football club or signed on the dotted line. Peter Zielinski is another one that could potentially be joining the football club. Again, we've offered a contract, but at the start of the season, doesn't look like he wants to join the football club. Cyril Dessers, we're trying to get out. Lammers, we're trying to get out as well as Matondo and Dow. We're really trying to get players out, but there's been no interest in these ballers. And it's not surprising. They're absolutely washed. Let's see how we get on in the second season. We had an absolute trophy monster season. We won the UEFA Super Cup, beating Manchester City via play Scottish Cup, and we won the trophy that everyone was talking about, that European South American Club Challenge. It came in pre-season. We won it 2-0 with goals from Cantwell and John Souttar. But in the Champions League, we were knocked out in the group stage. Sadly, the Cinch Premier League, we absolutely humbled everyone. 105 points, only one defeat, so a near perfect season. And as I mentioned at the start of this video, Eddie Salcedo looked like he was going to be the guy. We did bring in some other transfers as well, which I will show you in just a minute. You'll notice there that Gabriel Barbosa came in on a free transfer as well and got great average rating. James Tavernier, 27 assists. I mean, Captain James, what a player he is. Now, I'll take a look at those transfers before we get into the squad. We did add Gabriel Barbosa and Eric Dyer. You can't say no to Gabigol on a free transfer. This guy is an elite level striker playing in Scotland. Like, he's gonna bag goals. Got 13 and 17 from January. Eric Dyer came in as well. Didn't play that much. Been a little bit injury prone. Bit injured, but he offers a lot of experience to the defence. I'm not a big fan of him in real life, but for the Scottish League, I feel like he is absolutely cracked. We did get rid of a few players as well. We got rid of Matondo, Dow, Lawrence, and Dessiers out of the football club. We had to generate some money, and that's exactly what we did there. Now, in terms of the squad, the best performers this season, in terms of goals, was this man, Danilo. Danilo's an actual baller. Like, he's really surprised me, and he's scoring goals for fun now. The 26-year-old Brazilian might one day play for Scotland if he doesn't play for Brazil. Yanis Hadji, son of the legendary Georgi Hadji, came in back from loan, and he's been absolutely cracked. I mean, Barbosa, Tavernier, players like Eddie Salcedo, who is currently injured, is an absolute baller. He was our top goal scorer, 28 goals. This guy, I don't know how I'm going to keep him, lads. Honestly, free transfer, someone's going to come in for him. He's too good to stay at this football club. Toclamay got some goals as well. Dejan Sterling did very well this season, a lot of assists, and Lando Barrio was absolutely cracked. Yilmaz with the assist. This guy, I don't know how I'm going to keep him. This guy's going to get bought. He's so good. Turkish international left back. What more could you want? Third season incoming, lads. Let's go. Kicking it off with the transfers this season, I think we've had a very good transfer window. I do have to say, I feel like we've made a lot of money. £35 million of transfers out and only £9 million of transfers in. Managing this club is an absolute challenge. Real Madrid came in for Eddie Salcedo, and when Real Madrid come in for players, you have to sell them. He was so upset that he couldn't go when I rejected the first offer. I said 23 million. They came back with that. He went. That's big money for Rangers. Eduque wanted a new contract. I offered him a deal. He wanted 77,000 a week, and I was like, I can't give you that, lad. And now he's gone to Sturm Graz for 17. He was on more than that here. I don't understand it. I mean, he just went for the money. He was decent for us last season as well, but I mean, yeah, just went out for the money. Nicholas Raskin as well. He went out. He wanted to play first team football. Just wasn't good enough for the football club. Sold him to AA again. Sam Lammers, we finally got rid of him. He was on loan last season. Someone came in this season. Not a player I wanted at the football club. Not good enough for what I want to achieve. Divine Wrench came in on a free transfer from Ajax. Plays everywhere at the back and can play in the midfield as well. We need utility men in this squad, and he's a very good player to be released by Ajax. Don't know what Ajax are doing. One of my favourite players that I've signed a few times on saves this year is Taylor Harwood-Bellis from Man City. Come through the Man City Academy. You know Man City's Academy is cooking, so you're getting an absolute baller. Morale Silla is a player I wanted on my Aris save. I've wanted him a few times. Never came to the football club. Now I've got him. I can actually see how good this guy is. The Guinean international will offer international experience and some depth to the cam role. We did bring in a player I've never signed before and not really done much research on. It's Facundo Torres. Comes in from the MLS, looks like an absolute baller. The scouts were like, you need to sign him. He was top target recommendation for so long. Injured for 4 weeks at the start of the season. I mean, what more do you expect from Football Manager at this point? The squad is looking very good for this season. As you can see, we've still got Butland as the number one. We've got some great players down. I've brought players in like Leon King from the under-21s from the B team to bolster us at the back. He's not developing as I would like, but we've got a very good squad. Marco Bulak came in as well just before the end of last season. He is an absolute baller and will be a club legend. I love this guy. He's got some brilliant stats. Dynamo Zagreb. You know he's going to be the next Luka Modric. Cifuentes comes back from loan. Not too sure about him. I don't think he's going to fit the team and I don't think he's going to start too much, but he might do. Let's see, lads. We're in all competitions this season, as you can see. Champions Leagues, all that kind of good stuff. We had a terrible season in the Champions League this season. I'm hoping we can at least progress through the group stage and get to a knockout round. Let's go, boys. Let me know in the comments now where you think we're going to do this third season. Hold the press. There is something going on in the Champions League here at Rangers. Quarter-final up against Liverpool after they beat us in the first leg. We kicked it back off with Walker Peters getting us back into the game that we would eventually win 3-0 on the day and 5-2 on aggregate. Walker Peters into Facundo Torres, who's been absolutely quality this season. Yanis Hadji getting that form going and like playing like his dad this season. He's not been Yanis Hadji, he has been Georgi Hadji this season. And Tavernier wrapped off the game with a marauding run down the right-hand side, whipped in across, and Toklamati puts us in the semis. Surely we couldn't progress past the mighty Bayern Munich. We beat them 1-0 at Ibrox in the first leg with an outstanding goal to set up a 10-second tie. It was that man, Gabigol, who puts us into our first ever UEFA Champions League final after going out in the group stage last year. Gabigol puts us in the final. In the final, we would play North London's finest Arsenal, beating them 2-1, and it was Toklamati who put us in front in the first 2 minutes of the game. The young Israeli striker was absolutely cooking in this game. It was all Arsenal after that, and from a throw-in, Martinelli was marauding, found a whipped cross to Reece Nelson, and it was Gabriel Jesus past Andrew in goal, came in January. But this was going to be Rangers' time, like John Cena says. Our time is now. And it was Scott McKenna's header into McCausland, but Toklamati was there to pass it past Trubin to win the Champions League. And that wrapped off a perfect season for us, winning everything Scotland had to offer and winning Rangers' first ever UEFA Champions League final. Only one defeat in the season in the league for us, and that was a silly defeat for us. 102 plus goal difference, 103 points. Danilo bagged 32 goals. Walker Peters, Danilo and Silla were absolutely cooking this season. Gabigol with the assist. And you'll notice there that Celtic managed to sign Neymar. Now, I'm doing a Rangers rebuild and I don't want to talk about the noisy neighbours to the left, but how in the hell did they sign Neymar on 51 grand a week? I mean, I'm going to show you this Celtic side because Neymar in it just does not make any sense. I mean, they've got some great players. They've got Noni Madueke on loan, Victor Lindelof on loan. They've got Lucien Aguame, still got McKenna, Rooney Bargi's in the team. Like, they've got Bargi and Neymar on the wings, and they still can't beat our wonderful Rangers side. That says everything you need to know about Celtic in this save. And the most shocking one is Ivan Toney is there with Neymar. I mean, I love these rebuilds, but it throws up some absolute madness. I have to say, our transfers were cooking like that, though, I have to say. I mean, there's probably some unrealistic transfers we've got for Rangers here. We did sign Andrew, the goalkeeper, because we really needed a new goalkeeper. Jack Butland was declining. We signed Andrew, never had him before. Looks like a very good Brazilian goalkeeper and came in and won the Champions League for us, really. I think he was one of the main guys that came in this season and did absolute bits for us. We did manage to get rid of Todd Cantwell and Ben Davis in the January window. What a season this is for Rangers. One of the best seasons I've ever had on Football Manager, and one of the most enjoyable seasons as well. It was an absolute roller coaster ride. And before we finish this season, I'll show you the run that we had. As you can see, we've got Aston Villa in the first knockout round, beat them 3-1, then lost 2-1, just about progressing there. And then Liverpool 2-2 away, and obviously I showed you the 3-0 win in the semi-final as well. We beat Celtic in the Scottish Cup final, so having Bargi and Neymar wasn't enough, and beating Arsenal in that Champions League final was absolutely memorable. What a season. Is it going to be downwards from here? Is it going to be upwards from here? Can we get another Champions League? Who knows? Season 4, boys. Let's go. Season 4's transfers will go down as some of the best I've ever had on Football Manager. I'm not going to lie to you. These transfers are just so unrealistic, but I absolutely love it. Lazar Samandrovic comes in on a free transfer. I mean, what a player he is from Udinese to get on a free transfer. But the big one is Mark Guehi, England international centre-back. Mark Guehi comes to sign for Rangers. This is unbelievable. I mean, it's mind-boggling how he came on a free transfer. Don't ask me. Marcus Solbakken comes in for 64k to provide some cover in the middle of the park. He is actually our best holding midfield player. Let's see if that's actually the case. Thales Magno, a player I've loved down the years on Football Manager. He comes in to replace Facundo Torres, who went to the Middle East for £20 million. John Suter went to Olympiacos for 300. I mean, in terms of the competitions we're in this season, Champions League, Super Cup against Monaco, so a winnable game there. If we can beat Arsenal, we can surely beat Monaco and pick up our second UEFA Super Cup with Rangers. I'm expecting to win the league again. I'm expecting to win most things in Scotland. Champions League, I would take knockout rounds. I think last season was a bit of a special one. I don't see us repeating that. But hey, you never know. Stranger things have happened. Well, the Champions League did not go to plan. We were knocked out in the group stage. One of the first times the holders have ever been knocked out in a group stage of a Champions League. It was a terrible, terrible performance from us in there. The fans were not very happy, but what they were happy with was an unbeaten season in the league. 102 points, 112 plus goal difference. Danilo and Thales Magno absolutely cooking. Danilo is one of those guys, lads. If you haven't had him, go out and get him. He's a bit of a cheap beast. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, you can say it is only the SPL, but this guy is absolutely cracked. We did make a couple of transfers as well. We needed a new left back, and I brought in the old reliable left back from my Ajax rebuild, Alecka Terzic. He's been injured a lot this season though, so I don't know if he's going to be the one. We needed a bit of cover, so I thought, hey, why not? Let's go out and get him. Andrew left as well, so he left to go to Al Ali. They have been buying so many of our players. I mean, they bought Torres, Yilmaz, and Andrew from us this season, absolutely battering our Champions League winning side. And I think that was the difference. Not having Yilmaz this season was not the one. Luis Junior came in to replace him. Now, I did have him on the Ajax rebuild as well. Very good goalkeeper. He came in, came out, but he's been good for us so far, and I think he'll stay towards the end of this rebuild as well. In this season, we had players absolutely cooking. Danilo, Thales Magno, Samandrovic, Hadji, Toklamati still scoring goals. Gabigol, not as many goals this season, had a very big injury and looks like he's on the decline. The fifth season and last season starts. Hopefully a better performance in the Champions League, but hoping to dominate domestically again. Our last transfer window with the football club was an unbelievable one in terms of profit. We got £77 million for our players. Mark Guehi went out to Arsenal for £40 million. He wanted to go. You can't stop him. Arsenal are a big side, a Champions League pushing side. Silla wanted to go, couldn't get first team football. Samandrovic kicked him out of the team last season. But we also lost Samandrovic to Al Ittihad, which is one of those things. The Middle East this year, very good at building up your club's funds, but very good at taking your best players. Arno Calamendo came in on a free transfer. He has been a player I've wanted to sign for a while, and he's on big, big money. We just went for it this season. We're trying to get another Champions League. Samuel Lino comes in as well. This guy was highly recommended by our scouts at Atletico Madrid. They let him go on a free transfer, can play across the left-hand side. Excited to see what he can bring to this football club. Ronnie Edwards is another player I haven't signed yet, and he comes in on a free transfer from Man City alongside Kevin Danso. They will both play at centre-back for us this season. Very, very good centre-backs after losing Mark Guehi. So we've used no money to replace any players. We just put it in the pure profit for the football club. And Steven Bergwijn, an elite winger, comes in. He's going to be third choice, but we needed a little bit of experience out there, and Bergwijn's an absolute baller. We're in all competitions this season. The squad's cooking, as you can see. Here is our squad. Luis Junior still in goal. We've still got a lot of players. We've got a big, big squad on big, big money. It is a talented, stacked squad. Let's see how we got on in this last season. Not our most successful season, probably one of the least successful seasons we've had. Only the Scottish Cup and Cinch Premier League champions. We got knocked out by Hibs in the Viaplay Cup, which is their version of the League Cup, which we won 4 of them, so it's fine. And we got battered by Napoli in the knockout round of the Champions League. So that one Champions League really was a big achievement for this football club. Let me tell you, the squad ends like this. This is the final squad of the rebuild. Luis Junior, Ronnie Edwards, Scott McKenna, Lino, all did very well this season. Gabigol came back from a big injury last season and came back to his best, scoring 31 goals. Yanis Hadji was absolutely turned into an elite level cam. I didn't see it coming from the lad, but he's been brilliant. I wanted to sell him. No one wanted him. I gave him a second chance in this rebuild. Was absolutely crap. Calamendo, honestly, I wouldn't buy him again. He's absolute rubbish. This guy is built like Reece James. He's built of paper. Didn't score goals in the SPL. That should tell you all you need to know about Calamendo. Now in terms, let's have a look at the managerial timeline to wrap off this video. If we take a look at what we've won with Rangers, we won 19 trophies with them. The first trophy we won was the Viaplay Cup. We won everything domestically in the first season, including the UEFA Europa League, which was, I mean, that was an unbelievable moment to kick off this rebuild. Europe and South American Club Challenge, we won that as well as winning 2 Super Cups along the way. The one Champions League in 2026 was the highlight of this rebuild for me. Honestly, it had me in tears when I won that. Like, I was jumping for joy. It was unbelievable. And then we followed it up with a UEFA Super Cup, and then domestically cleaning up in the last season apart from that Viaplay. 19 major trophies with Rangers and that squad. I think this is going to be one of the best ever Rangers rebuilds you will ever see on Football Manager. Let me know in the comments below what team you want me to rebuild next, and I will add it to my rebuild list. If not, I'll see you on another video.